Doomhammer.
Watch your back. The light protects me.
So much poison. Wow.
I fight. The light protects me. I fight.
The thing with this deck is you have such a good start generally, and then it peters off. I mean, that's the case with most of the super aggro decks, but this deck doesn't really aggro. I continue to be torn with this deck.
Here we go.
Do I want to send everything at this one?
I
Yes.
fight. I fight.
Hold this weapon. I'm so torn on whether or not this is a good deck. I'm continuously leaning towards kind of mediocre. But I think it does warrant exploration. I think a new bar is best here. It's nice and big. And then the SI7 agent isn't really that important, so I can coin harvest. Though this does mean that the new bar will bounce possibly something I don't want it to bounce. Still, I believe my best play here. Since the SI7 agent's battle cry can be used, more relevantly at a later time. Oops, I missed 1 damage on him. I'm not going to make the mistake of not killing this totem still though. I was like, oh crap, no, I don't have enough. Now I do, but I just missed one. See, I got a question. If by miracle I were to open a pack with Leroy, Edwin, and Thanos and 2 prep at the start of your free-to-play deck, would you restart? Well, I did consider all of those cards. None of those cards actually fit in this deck. So, like, I could just leave them around, and no, I wouldn't restart then, since none of them would be used in this deck. But the main question is whether or not this type of deck is viable. That's a tougher answer. Spectral Spider.
I wonder.
I think this is a good time to play the agent.
This guy's
I'll
toast.
sacrifice the minimal amount.
I fight.
Hey, give me a minute.
His board state is pretty scary, and I would take my side over his, but... And this is like the value mentality. Your guys don't just charge and then die off. Your guys stick around. Well, that's the difference between this deck and the face rogue. And generally this is like the only rogue deck where your minions can be expected to stick around. Or it's the only deck where if your minions stick around, that's how you can tell whether or not you're winning. Alright.
This is our town, scrub.
Yeah, beat it.
I am a little cautious to play that against a big storm. But I feel like based on his actions, the storm isn't that likely. In addition, right now, the storm isn't that devastating. Unless I get bad RNG. like, hooray, Defias Ringleader got back. That's kind of the goal of a new bar ambusher, to enable this kind of stuff to happen. But it's pretty tough to make happen. Alright, so I got 4, 6, 8. I think this can be allowed to live. He clearly doesn't have Storm at the moment.
Here we go.
This is our town, scrub.
Yeah, beat it. Hey, give me a minute.
I don't need to play this abusive. It's super lethal if he doesn't have Storm. And if he has Storm, the abusive sergeant only adds 2 damage. Oh. Okay.
My shield for Argus!
Here we go.
Hey, give me a minute.
You looking at me? Your soul shall be mine.
Watch your back.
Is this too slow against Zoo? It's like, as a control rogue, I have the control 2 and the control 3 in the basic 1.
The light protects me.
Backstab is really good. Alright. This swings it in my favor, hopefully.
Why do you call? Get in there and fight, maggot!
Put this apple on your head.
Two 1 into 1/1? No. Really. Absurd.
Here we go.
I was just waiting for the Voidwalker wall to go down. Nervous Golem's in now.
Why do you call?
Got my value 3 and my value 2.
My shield for Argus!
Do I want to even attack? Supposing I don't attack, he can take away my option of killing this guy. So I guess I will attack.
You call that a weapon?
The light protects me.
I am thinking more seriously about putting Defender of Argus in this deck. Perhaps removing an Abusive Sergeant. That egg. He wants to keep it alive. This is a question of greed right now. I cannot break through right now without killing this 1/1. So I need to let him, I need to kill that 1/1 at the moment where I'm going to Blade Flurry with the Deadly Put. This makes it easier.
Here we go.
Looks like I managed to outvalue the zoo, which is great. Maybe the cards that I think are unfair in this matchup
My shield
aren't
for
the right
Argus.
ones that are actually unfair. These creepers and harvest golems have done their work, I'd say. I was just gonna do the deadly blade flurry, but I might be able to salvage one of the deadly poisons. And the only cost is I lose a 1/1 instead.
So
And I get to develop SI7. That's better. And I lose 2 health if I want to save a 1/1, which I will.
This guy's toast.
here we go.
There's general talk about what a value deck is. I think a zoo qualifies as a value deck. They run all the value minions, and their hero ability is the definition of value. You basically 1 for 0 every time you press the button.
Hey, lights out.
Oh, I almost missed lethal. 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, 13. Right.
Here we go.
Hey, lights out.
I've gotten better at doing like my quick glance and seeing whether or not I might have lethal before acting. When you're not paying 100% attention to the game, sometimes you lose track.
I must protect the one.
Watch your back.
One, 2, 3, 4 curve.
Pay attention, class.
That card's really scary. I'd like to eviscerate it. Well, I can kill it, but that's a heavy cost. I would need to eviscerate his face in cold blood and shred. That is outrageous.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
I'm just going to have to hope that he doesn't do anything too insane with this Violet Teacher.
I am ready to learn.
The light protects me.
Power of the Wild. Dodge it. Ah, crap.
I am ready to learn.
Alright, well, now, surely there couldn't be anything too bad that happens. I just keep not drawing the enabler for the eviscerate.
I am ready to learn.
Okay.
This guy's toast.
So good news, bad news. Good news is, even despite all that, our boards seem to be the same. Bad news, I have 2 cold bloods in my hand. Good news, I have a gnomish inventor. Bad news, his deck is probably better suited for value because of the 2 Ancient of Lores that are in there. When I think about it, what is it that this deck has an advantage over that
Pay
deck
attention,
on?
class.
It's slightly better at dealing with early game stuff.
I am ready to learn.
It's got the backstab on his side. Because for a moment, I was going to go down this line of thinking, wait a second, that deck just does everything I do, but better. It's a different flavor.
Pass me that arc light spanner. The light protects me.
I would run Ancient of Lore in this deck, though, if I had it. If I could. Ancient of Lore.
Where shall I strike?
Now I ignore
I am ready to learn.
it. At least this particular draw seems to have been insane by him. Well, it's not pretty.
Here we go.
I am ready to learn.
Your soul shall be mine!
Watch your back.
I'll keep the Nerubian Egg and Harvest Golem. Hopefully I get some Nerubian Egg enabling.
I greet you.
That's really good. So the question here is, do I coin Nerubian Egg? Actually, the answer to that is yes. And then the question is, do I backstab now, or do I backstab later and save the Cold Blood Battlecry? I think the answer is I can take the 3 damage. Yeah. Next turn I'll waste 1 mana, but that's okay.
Choose soon.
Why do you call?
Do you need a blessing?
Come on, buff the Voidwalker! Yes! Oh, that was huge.
Well played. I wonder.
Do you need a blessing?
Wow, the good stuff keeps coming.
I fight.
This egg is a serious combatant, no need to trade it off.
Put this apple on your head. I feel icky.
Okay.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Alright.
Here we go. I fight.
Who dares summon me?
Oh, Doomguard, so scary. Alright, choice number 1 is to attack this with everything, including my own weapon, and trade it off. Choice number 2 is play Azure Drake and attack its face. If I take that path, then he will go down to 9 health, and I will have 10 attack worth of stuff on the board. I like that one slightly better.
must protect the wild.
Watch your back.
We got some statements about the egg in chat. There's a statement, egg is sick. This is like one of the weakest decks you could put it in. And it's still sick. That's how good the egg is. That's kind of
The
sad.
light protects me.
So this, the thing about this deck, which I argue makes it one of the better decks to put egg in, is it's got cold blood. And I think that alone
It's time
makes
for a
this
little
a
blood.
pretty legitimate deck to hold an egg in. Plus the traditional Argent squaring and whatnot with the abusive sergeants makes it kind of natural. When I first was creating this deck, I was thinking, oh man, but Backstab and SI7 Agent are also egg enablers. But that turns out to be less
Engaging TC-130
practical
dislocator.
in practice. Because it turns out that activating the egg by damaging it is a pretty bad way of activating it. Which isn't something that I initially knew when I first created this deck. Yes, I can see that Zoo and Shaman would be pretty good to use the egg in. But that's two decks that it's good to use the deck in. And you said one of the weakest decks. Like, I can accept it's the third best deck to put it in. Weakest implies it's in the bottom three.
Where shall I strike?
Okay, so there's two main schools of thought here. One is play SI7 Agent and eviscerate that, and then I can attack it with the weapon. The pro of this is I get to Deadly Poison a completely fresh guy, but I take 4 damage. The other is just to play Deadly Poison to enable the combos to take it out. The con of that is I've used Deadly Poison and I missed 1 charge, but that's okay. Hold the weapon for Blade Flurry, of course. I chuckled for a moment because I was like, wow, this weapon is really bad now. Not that it's really that big a concern. Turn 7 pass. What am I, Miracle Rogue? I mean, no one wants to turn 7 pass. Alright, we'll do it this way.
This guy's toast.
Here we go.
If you keep her and silences the left egg, I'm going to get absolutely blown out. But it's getting that desperate situation where you gotta make a move.
I must safeguard the land.
Oh. Save me, egg.
Here we go.
Pay attention, class.
I am ready to learn. I am ready to learn.
Alright.
Well played. I
It was actually one of the better cards I could have drawn, but I was gonna give up anyways.